Hey guys, it's me, Jennifer. Today we're going to talk about prejudice, and to start us off, I want to tell you a story. So my son is in middle school, and recently one of the moms at his school posted something on Facebook that I wanted to share. She overheard a couple of boys talking, and they were talking about playing basketball, and one of them said, "I'm not trying out for basketball. I'm way too white." And as you can imagine, a lot of other parents started commenting on it, and some, could really understand how something like that could be hurtful, and others just, didn't get it. They felt like it's a compliment if you're good at something, and felt like, it wasn't really that serious or even a problem at all. And so I want to talk to you today about an article by a guy named Herbert Bloomer. It was written in 1958, and it's called Racial Prejudice as a Sense of Group Position. And basically what they mean by group position is your group's position in society. So there could be vertical positioning, like a pecking order and a hierarchy, or there could be horizontal positioning, which is like, you're good at that, I'm good at this, you stay over there, I'll stay over here. Where anytime you categorize someone, sorry, my pen just fell. Anytime you categorize someone and say, this is where you belong, that's prejudice. And so Herbert Bloomer used four different things to help you recognize what prejudice is, four criteria. The first one is a feeling of superiority. The second one is a feeling that the subordinate race is intrinsically different or alien. The third one is a feeling of proprietary claim to certain areas of privilege, which goes back to that you stay in your place, I'll stay in my place. And a fear and suspicion that the subordinate race kind of wants to be on equal footing with the dominant race and get rid of that pecking order and bring everybody, equal, whether it's up or down or wherever it needs to be. So the reason why that statement, I can't play basketball because I'm too white, was prejudicial is because if you look at American history, throughout our years, people of color have always been valued for their physical labor and not for their intellectual labor. It started with slavery, with Native Americans who ended up dying from a lot of diseases that their bodies couldn't handle, and that's why slavery didn't work with them. So they started shipping in African slaves so that they could do the physical labor that white Americans didn't want to and didn't think that they should have to because they thought they were better than that. And then later on in the industrial age, you see it with Chinese immigrants working on the railroads and building those because white Americans didn't want those jobs. And you see it today with undocumented immigrants being recruited and brought into the U.S. to work on farms for illegally low wages in dangerous situations. So as you can see throughout history, like I said, people of color are valued for their physical labor and not their intellectual contributions. So you can see how, it establishes this feeling of superiority for white people. We're smart, you guys handle the basketball and all the physical work, and we'll do all the thinking, And you can also see how it establishes that these races are different, they're other, they're alien. In fact, we even use the word alien to describe immigrants. And next, the feeling of proprietary claim to certain areas of privilege. We already talked about that a little bit, where you can see where, saying you do this and I do that. I'm good at this, you're good at that. And that's how we're always going to be because this is who we are. And then the fear that maybe, that's going to change, that subordinated race is going to come back and try to change that role so to have more freedom, that they're going to be on equal footing with us. And you can see the fear in the fact that these things are being repeated and encouraged and perpetuating. And so in conclusion, prejudice really has nothing to do with how we feel. It's not about hatred. You can feel like you're giving somebody a compliment even. You could, like black people or Latino people or Asian people and still say things that are prejudicial. Anytime you're categorizing a group of people and you're saying that this is who they are and you're positioning them in society that way, that's prejudice.